All right, let's talk about Omenpaths. These bright blue triangles you've been seeing all over the place the last year and a half. But before that, let me give a little bit of history. So, before the mending of Dominaria, it was very possible to move non planeswalkers between planes. One of the ways that happened was through planar portals, both technological and naturally occurring. On Dominaria, a lot of the Arabic cultural influence on Jamura came from other planes, specifically Arabia and Wildfire, both of which had portals that were either open between them, had been open in the past, or in one case, a sort of Wizard of Oz like sand tornado that picked someone up from one of these worlds and dropped him off on one of the others. Phyrexia had planar portal technology that they used to invade planes throughout the multiverse. This is the original Phyrexia. Now, they were more like raiders. They weren't looking to spread Phyrexia, they were looking to take what was useful to them. But you see tons of examples of planar portals all throughout Magic history. And in fact, it's one of the key plot drivers for a good, 5, 6 years of Magic plot, especially the Weatherlight, which could technically plane shift between worlds on its own, but ends up going through portals just as often. And there's more than the ones I mentioned. There's a mysterious portal that we call the Dwarven Gate beneath Baron Sengir's castle that he stands poised to go through around the time of the mending, so he could be anywhere. Now, with the mending, the fabric of the multiverse changed along with healing the damage caused over the millennia by Planeswalkers' reckless uses of power. And the two big consequences were that the Planeswalker spark was altered so that they were no longer these near godlike beings, and two, all the previous ways between planes were now closed. Old interplanar technology like the Phyrexian portals, the Weatherlight, all the old natural portals like the ones from Arabia, none of that worked anymore. And that's where the planar bridge comes in. This was a piece of technology developed on Kaladesh, stolen by Tezzeret for Nicol Bolas's use in the War of the Spark. And the big deal about this is this was the first piece of technology in 60 years that actually bridged the gap between planes. The catch was living tissue couldn't go through it. Hence the army of Lazotep-covered zombies. Well, that brings us to March of the Machines. The Phyrexians launched an invasion of the multiverse using Realm Breaker, a corrupted version of Kaldheim's World Tree, which combines a bunch of different realms into one plane. In the aftermath of the invasion and the detonation of the Silex in the Blind Eternities by Elspeth, which is when she became an angel, a lot of damage had been done to the fabric of the multiverse, just like during the mending. And so things started to change. These portals called Omenpaths began opening up between worlds. Now, some of them are stable and can be used for fairly reliable travel. Others sort of open and close with not a lot of rhyme or reason to it, or they'll open for a short time and close forever. So Omen Path travel isn't perfectly safe, but if you find the stable Omen Paths, it's reasonably safe. A lot of these paths opened to Thunder Junction, which is where people sort of dispossessed from the Phyrexian invasion came to start new lives. And it became sort of a melting pot of the multiverse. Now, as to what they are, the story has postulated some theories, but again, these are just like in-universe theories. Accompanying the desparking of a lot of planeswalkers, the Omen Paths are now one of the biggest modes of travel between planes in the multiverse. As to what exactly they are, Zimone in the Duskmourn story theorizes that it's a cosmic balancing with the loss of the planeswalker sparks to heal the damage after the Phyrexian invasion. I should also note that on Kaldheim, they already had Omen Paths. So these might sort of be a natural feature of connecting a bunch of planes with a world tree. We don't know yet if the Sword of the Realms, which can open Omen Paths on Kaldheim, would work to travel between planes yet. Loot, the character Jason Vraska liberate from the Fomori Vault on Thunder Junction, has a map of Omen Paths in his head, although I think it's more that he has like a map of the multiverse in his head, and knowing all about Omen Paths is just part of that. Meanwhile, during the Duskmourn story, Niv Mizzet mentions that he's completed his mapping project, although we don't know all of what that entails yet. And then finally, there's Valgavoth, who can open doorways to other planes in the current way the multiverse works fairly easily and kind of lure people from other worlds in to terrorize and ultimately kill. And while the Omenpaths may have benefits, for instance, people from planes destroyed or decimated by Phyrexia can move to other worlds, there's also consequences to this. Things like the dragon storm starting to spawn through Omenpaths on other worlds is an issue, and that's the name of this arc. Obviously, an elder demon with the ability to open doors to other world is also a bad thing. And at the same time, we might start seeing some organized use of Omenpaths through cities like Ravnica. And we know the next set after Duskmourn, Death Race, which we don't know the real name of yet, is going to feature a race across 3 different planes. In real-world terms, this opens up a lot of storytelling potential. And there are downsides to it too, I know. But I personally like that the multiverse is a much more dangerous place right now, but also ripe with potential in different crossovers and things like that between worlds. Anyway, that's basically everything we know about Omenpaths right now.